In the early 20th century, the Anglo-Japanese alliance marked a significant shift in East Asian geopolitics, reflecting a strategic partnership designed to counterbalance regional threats and maintain stability. Fast forward to the present day, a similar realignment is unfolding in Southeast Asia as senior defense and foreign affairs officials from Japan and the Philippines prepare to meet in Manila next month to enhance strategic ties and address regional concerns amidst rising alarm over China's assertive actions in the disputed South China Sea. This high-stakes dialogue seeks to finalize a critical defense pact, highlighting the evolving alliance aimed at enhancing regional security and asserting territorial sovereignty. Let us get into the detail of this. Senior defense and foreign affairs officials from Japan and the Philippines will convene in Manila next month to enhance strategic ties and address regional concerns, according to the Philippine Department of Foreign Affairs. This meeting comes at a time of rising alarm over China's assertive actions in the disputed South China Sea.
You are within the Philippine exclusive economic zone.
On July 8th, Japanese Foreign Minister Kamikawa Yoko and Defense Minister Kihara Minoru will meet with their Philippine counterparts to discuss various issues. While specific details of the agenda remain undisclosed, insiders indicate that efforts are underway to finalize a critical defense pact, potentially signing it during these discussions. The officials, who requested anonymity, cited restrictions on publicly discussing the matter. Last year, during a visit to Manila, Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida and Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. agreed to initiate negotiations on a Reciprocal Access Agreement. This pact would permit Japanese and Philippine troops to enter each other's territories for joint military exercises, aiming to increase their alliance in response to China's growing regional assertiveness. Marcos emphasized the proposed defense pact's benefits for both countries' defense and military personnel, as well as for regional peace and stability. Kishida announced during his Manila visit that Japan would provide a coastal surveillance radar to the Philippines, marking the first instance of a Southeast Asian nation benefiting from Japan's new security assistance program for allied militaries.
We look forward to expanding cooperation with you, especially in key areas such as economic development, development cooperation, and security cooperation.
Japan and the Philippines are both maritime nations and strategic partners sharing fundamental principles and values. And as the international community faces complex crises, we would like to strengthen our cooperation with the Philippines to maintain and strengthen a free and open international order based on the rule of law to ensure a world where human dignity is protected.
In addition to the surveillance radar, Japan pledged to supply the Philippines with additional patrol vessels, defense equipment, and radars to enhance its maritime law enforcement capabilities. Over recent years, Japan has delivered a dozen patrol ships to the Philippines, which are now actively used to protect its territorial interests in the contested South China Sea. Japan itself faces a long-standing territorial dispute with China over islands in the East China Sea. Similarly, Chinese and Philippine Coast Guard and Navy ships have experienced a series of tense confrontations in the South China Sea, a crucial global trade route. The most severe confrontation occurred recently when Chinese Coast Guard personnel armed with knives, spears, and an axe rammed and damaged two Philippine Navy supply vessels at the disputed Second Thomas Shoal. Several Filipino sailors were injured, and Chinese sailors seized at least 7 Philippine Navy rifles. The Philippines lodged a strong protest against China's actions, demanding compensation for the damages and the return of the rifles. China, however, accused the Philippines of provoking violence by allegedly trespassing into what it considers Chinese territorial waters. In response, Japan and other allied nations, including the United States, expressed serious concern over China's actions. The U.S. reiterated its commitment to defend the Philippines under the 1951 Mutual Defense Treaty if Filipino forces, ships, or aircraft are attacked, including in the South China Sea.
And I would just say that you've heard me say, you've heard our president say a number of times that our commitment to the treaty is ironclad, and we stand with the Philippines.
Marcos and other Philippine officials condemned the Chinese assault, deeming it illegal and deliberate, but stopped short of calling it an armed attack that would trigger the defense treaty with the U.S.-China's release of a new national map, claiming most of the South China Sea and other contested territories has further escalated tensions.
Our calm and peaceful disposition should not be mistaken for acquiescence. History itself can tell that we have never in the history of the Philippines yielded to any foreign power. We owe to our forefathers the duty.
The map has provoked strong objections from several countries, including India, Malaysia, Vietnam, Indonesia, and the Philippines, all of whom have competing claims in the region. India, among the first to react, lodged a formal complaint, rejecting China's claims as baseless. Malaysia, Vietnam, Taiwan, Indonesia, and the Philippines followed suit, each asserting their sovereignty over the contested areas. The Philippine Department of Foreign Affairs cited a 2016 ruling by an arbitration tribunal in The Hague under the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea, which largely invalidated China's expansive claims in the South China Sea and affirmed the Philippines' control over resources within its exclusive economic zone. China defended its map release, stating that it was part of an ongoing effort to correct problem maps and provide standard maps for public education. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Wang Wenbin urged other countries to view the map objectively and rationally. The leaders of Japan and the Philippines recently agreed to start negotiations on a reciprocal access agreement to allow their troops to conduct joint military exercises. This move aims to strengthen their alliance amid China's aggressive posturing in the region. Japanese Prime Minister Kishida, during a visit to Manila, announced the provision of a coastal surveillance radar and additional patrol vessels to the Philippines. The aid is part of Japan's strategy to support regional allies against China's military assertiveness. The proposed reciprocal access agreement between Japan and the Philippines would facilitate joint military activities, potentially serving as a deterrent to regional aggression. If finalized, this pact would mark a significant enhancement of Japan-Philippines defense relations. Meanwhile, the Philippine military chief has demanded that China return the seized rifles and compensate for the damage inflicted during the recent confrontation at 2nd Thomas Shoal. General Romeo Bronner Jr. likened the Chinese actions to piracy, emphasizing the illegal boarding and seizure of Philippine naval equipment. The Philippines continues to call for a peaceful resolution to the South China Sea disputes, while preparing to strengthen its external defense capabilities through international partnerships. The recent hostilities between Chinese and Philippine Coast Guard and naval vessels have signified the volatility of the South China Sea disputes. The Philippines' strategy to increase its defense ties with Japan is seen as a significant step towards enhancing its security and asserting its territorial claims. During his visit to Manila, Prime Minister Kishida highlighted Japan's commitment to supporting the Philippines. He highlighted Japan's provision of patrol vessels and defense equipment as part of a broader strategy to improve regional maritime security. This move aligns with Japan's new defense strategy, which aims to utilize its development aid to strengthen the security capabilities of its allies. The Reciprocal Access Agreement, once finalized, is expected to facilitate joint military exercises and security activities, enhancing the operational capabilities of both Japanese and Philippine forces. This agreement reflects a significant shift in Japan's post-World War II defense policy, allowing for a more proactive role in regional security. In addition to defense cooperation, Kishida's visit also highlighted Japan's investment in the Philippines' infrastructure. He toured a Japanese-funded subway project in Manila and boarded one of the Japanese-built Coast Guard patrol ships. These initiatives underscore the multifaceted nature of Japan-Philippines relations, encompassing both security and economic dimensions. Senate President Juan Miguel Zubiri expressed optimism about the strengthening ties between the two nations, recognizing Japan as a robust trading partner, a security ally, and a key contributor to the Philippines' development.
One that is grounded in the common pursuit of peace and progress within our countries and throughout our region. Long live Philippine-Japan friendship and partnership.
Kishida's address to the Philippine Congress symbolized the deepening partnership and mutual commitment to regional stability.
I believe that the people-to-people connection is a bedrock of this relationship. I will continue to do my utmost to ensure that the strong friendship between Japan and the Philippines will last and further develop in the future.
The Philippines' diplomatic efforts, including protests against China's actions and demands for reparations, reflect its resolve to defend its territorial integrity. As tensions in the South China Sea persist, the Philippines continues to seek support from its allies. The United States, reaffirming its treaty obligations, has warned China against further provocations. The evolving geopolitical landscape in the Asia-Pacific region highlights the importance of strong alliances and strategic partnerships. Japan and the Philippines, through their collaborative efforts, are poised to play a pivotal role in shaping the future security architecture of the region. In essence, the efforts to finalize the defense pact between Japan and the Philippines reflect a strategic alignment aimed at countering China's aggressive actions in the South China Sea. This partnership, enhanced by the support of the United States and other regional allies, is essential for maintaining regional stability and upholding international maritime law. As the negotiations proceed, the successful signing of the Reciprocal Access Agreement will mark a new chapter in Japan-Philippines defense cooperation, reinforcing their commitment to a secure and prosperous Asia-Pacific. Thank you for tuning into our channel. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth analysis of global issues.